On-screen bookmark display. It's a tool by our AIC group. Let's go ahead and open up the release notes here. I wanted to show this one thing, right? We need to shut down all the Latitude services before we install. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll come down here to the Saffron service and we'll stop it. That will stop all of the Latitude services. And you can see they're probably just about stopped by now. So let's go back and now we can launch the on-screen bookmark display installer. And you can see we follow right along on the instructions. Pretty straightforward, and it is not that long of an install as well. This is just going to let us show on our screen in any view and playback where bookmarks are. Now we can see it on the timeline, of course. This is just going to give us the ability to see it actually on the screen. But the first thing we need to do, right, before we start it up Admin Center is to go back to our services and turn those back on again. Otherwise, we would fail to log into Latitude if the directory wasn't there. We'll wait till I get started. You can see hit F5 maybe. And there they all have started back up again. So now we can go ahead and close that down. And all we need to do now to configure the settings for our on-screen bookmark display is to come back into Admin Center, and you'll see on the System menu we have additional choices that we can choose from that we did not have before. So let's go to our physical view here. We'll go right to System, as I mentioned, and on its General tab down at the bottom you see new information in the on-screen bookmark display settings. All right, so let's limit the display duration. Just talk about this. We'll set it to maybe 15 seconds or so, and it'll go away. Next is we have the ability to display as many, up to 15 as we like. Text orientation can be top, middle, or bottom. We'll just leave it at the top for now. The text color, of course, can be changed to any of the colors in this big palette that you're familiar with probably. Let's go ahead and choose orange for that. The text opacity is, how bold the text is. Text font size doesn't need a lot of explanation. Text font name, of course, we have a series of different text fonts that we can choose. Let's go ahead and just choose Comic Sans. Now the background color is going to be behind our text, and the opacity slider is going to dictate how heavy it is, right? As you saw on the bottom, the example, the sample text. Now let's go ahead and hit save and lock those in. Now, all we need to do then at this point, once we have it set up, is to launch Control Center, and let's go take a look at bookmarks. Now, bookmarks are a familiar thing. We've had them forever. Now this is just going to give us the ability to see it on the screen without having to have the timeline on the bottom to be able to see it. So let's go ahead and we'll add our camera. I haven't pre-set up any bookmarks. I'm going to show you how easy this is. I'm on my timeline right now. You can see there was some timeline missing. That is, of course, when I had all the services off, right? And it was not recording at that time. Shrink it down here a little bit, and you can see I was playing around with this earlier, so we have another spot there. But let's just choose a spot right here where we want to put a bookmark. We'll come over here and create a bookmark. Now notice on the screen at the top, it's already there. Why? Because the timeline is showing the bookmark. But watch this. Let's go ahead and change the name to Bookmark Test 1. All right, we got it in there. Let's just go ahead and hit save. Now you notice we're on our timeline, but it still says the old name, and that's simply because we have not moved it off of the original. All we actually need to do to be able to display that new name, you can see it is in the bookmark itself. There's the new name. But what we need to do is just move the line away. We'll set it up here before the bookmark so you can see as I'm playing. Let's zoom in a bit. I'll just play it on the timeline. Keep an eye on the picture on the top right, and you'll see when it gets to the bookmark, we will see a display. So we're counting down now. It's probably at about 7 seconds away. Keep an eye on the top, and you should see it. And there it is. As you can see, the bookmark text, we have the 100% opacity gray background. And if we just talk for another couple of seconds, it should disappear in, you guessed it, 15 seconds. Like so.